G'day ISW. Today I'll be talking to you about how to set up a group and how to manage groups in Managebac. This is quite a handy thing if you're setting up an after-school club or a lunchtime club. It allows you to communicate with the members of the club and also to post events in the calendar, and these events will also appear in the students' calendar alongside their assessment tasks, their summative and formative tasks. It is quite a handy feature on Managebac, and also it helps parents know and be informed about what's going on with their child after school. So simply just click on this little button on the sidebar called Groups. If you can't see your sidebar, you just need to hit those three horizontal lines up the top there. When you click on that, it will just show you an outline of all the groups that have already been set up. What you need to do is go into Add Group and simply write in the name of the group. So I'm going to call this one Spanish Club, and then write a brief description about the group. I've already pre-written one here. There's just some basic details about who it's for, who's welcome to join, along with when it is and what to expect. Now, down a bit below here, we can see that you've got a drop-down box and it says CAS project. Now, I suppose that's allowing for students who are doing CAS and are creating a group as part of that, but given the fact I'm not doing CAS, I'm just going to ignore that. And there's quite a few things relating to CAS that we can just ignore. I'm going to call this a club or society. You've got other options like a sports team, homeroom, or other, which is very informative. So I'm going to call this a club or society. And you can ignore all of these buttons here as well, because that's all to do with CAS, and along with these buttons along here. That's all you need to do. Then you add the group, and after that, then you need to add members. So simply go to Members and add a student. I can choose Bob Fruit Loop, for example, save changes, and now Bob's part of that group. Alternatively, if other students want to join, then they will be able to see this group and they can join themselves. So if I take Bob Fruit Loop out of that, then we can go over to Bob Fruit Loop's view, and this is his view. And you can see there when I refreshed that he has an option of Spanish Club, and he can see the little explanation of it there. Then he can hit join. That means now he is a part of that. So any updates, then he will see that. The other interesting thing is, and I already mentioned this, is that it does appear on the student's calendar, and you can update things that are going on within the group. So I'll give you an example of that. I'm going to just do one for next week, because I know that Tuesday Football Club is not going to run because we have a Managebac training session which I'll be running. So I'm going to go into the calendar, and you can see last week we had a football training at 3:30. I'm going to, even though this isn't really an event, it's more of an event cancellation, I'm just going to add a new event, and I'm going to call it cancelled football training, and I'm going to choose a category there, call that practice. I'm going to ignore the location box because I've cancelled it, and then I'll write them a short note. Then I'll just set the date for that, because that's happening on Tuesday normally it happens at 3:30. And I can choose also down here, you can see I can add an attachment, but I can also choose to notify members via email, and I'm going to choose to do that, and that's it. So if I go back over, I know Bob is a member of that club, so if I go over to his view and I click on Tuesday Football, I can see football training is cancelled, and if I hover over the information, if I'm a student, I can see the reason for that happening. Additionally, if you just go to dashboard for Bob and you have a look, you'll see that he's got his tasks coming up. So Bob's in a few random classes here, and on top of that, you will see that his cancelled football training is listed there. So I always have an issue of students not knowing whether it's going to happen or not, but now they should be able to see, and the communication will happen a lot better if we are running clubs, if we do set up these groups. So that's it for today. Hopefully it was informative. If you have any queries or questions, as always, come and let me know.